Hello, I'll tell you a secret. Funny thing about moving outside the city center, going, countryside-ish, is that you would expect there would be so much silence and, only the birds chirping and, don't know, whatever else natural sounds, but no, because people tend to, they tend to have dogs when they have their own house. So there's a lot of dog barking, and I didn't take that into consideration before thinking, where to film. But I did really want to film outside, so yeah, I'll just do it. Be warned. Right. So today I want to talk about the importance of environment, and this is a very broad topic for sure. So there's another thing about living in the countryside. Construction work is happening anywhere you go. Right. Yeah, I need to go deeper into the woods next time. Let's see if we can make it. So it didn't take me long to understand, to realize that the whole hammock thing was a little bit too distracting for myself. I thought I'll just lean onto a tree and look into the sunset and talk a little bit about the environment with you guys. But environment as in, where you live, where you spend your time, in relation to your habits and your personal growth. So as always, I'm gonna provide a little story from my own life. Not to sound too preachy and do this, do that, but I do want to refer to this amazing book that I'm a little bit obsessed with at the moment, is Atomic Habits by James Clear. So yeah, he's dedicating quite many pages of the book, talking about the importance of environment when you want to create good habits. So basically, I moved quite recently to a very nice apartment, which is part of the a private house, and it's outside of the city center. It's quite, it's not in the suburbs, but nearly that. There's a lot of, beautiful nature around, and as you can see, and it's just a really cozy, a little bit quirky space that I've got for myself. And as I was sharing before, is that it's the first time I'm renting by myself, to live on my own without a partner or anyone else. So this is quite a big thing for me. And so basically I came back to Lithuania after 5 years of not living in here, to my hometown Vilnius, and it was supposed to be a temporary stop, but it ended up, it's developing into a little bit of a longer term settlement. And since at the beginning I didn't know how long I'm gonna be spending, how much time I'm gonna be spending in here, I didn't want to commit to being here. So yeah, it's a shout out to someone that offered me, without knowing me, to to live in their apartment. So basically, if not that, for free. So basically, if not that, I probably wouldn't have stayed for so long. It's been half a year now. Because I would probably it would be just, too expensive to stay in a hotel or couch surf. It would be inconvenient to couch surf on my friends, couches and stuff like that. So I would have probably be gone like in a month or so. But since there was this apartment that this older lady, there was just, long story short, there was an apartment that wasn't being used for quite some time, few years, because she's quite an elder lady, and she moved closer to her family, so that apartment was just staying there without being used, and yeah, I occupied it for a few months. But it's I'm so grateful, forever grateful probably, because it did open my eyes up, because I had this comfort of I've got a roof over my head, and it's all comfortable, and my parents were close by, and I had the emotional support that I needed after a breakup. The reason why I came back to Lithuania, to just collect myself emotionally, even physically, and yeah, definitely spiritually. But after some time, since I figure out, I think I'm gonna stay for a little bit longer, because things started happening. I started meeting cool, interesting people, new friends, and rediscovered Vilnius. Because 5 years is quite a long time for a very quickly progressing country. Plus, the whole COVID era was behind us, but it did change a lot of things. Like 5 quite significant years when you think about it, even in the history of our modern times. So yeah, after some time I realized that it is important to find a place to live that would actually nurture me and feel like home, because the situation was that apartment was I didn't meet the lady, but she left most of her personal belongings in that apartment, and it was filled with the walls were covered with personal portraits and other paintings, but yeah, lots of faces of people that I don't know, lots of books, and the closets were full of clothes. So I was literally living on the surfaces. I could use one room, that was my bedroom and everything, and the suitcase was my wardrobe. And I still could feel that at any time, like at any minute basically, I could somebody would give me an hour to pack up, and I would be able to, because most of the things were already in the suitcases. So yeah, so I think psychologically, it didn't help me to commit to this idea that I'm gonna spend some time in here. I want to actually live in here. Yeah, and now I moved. I found this place. That was a little bit of a rash decision, I suppose, but I'm not sure if I don't know, rash, spontaneous. You could call it many words, the same thing, right? It depends what's your take on it, but I want to believe, I want to trust Mulder, I want to believe. X-Files reference, I hope you caught it. I do want to trust the universe that everything is just the way it's supposed to be for me. And I did find a place to live before finding a stable job, for instance. But this whole thing is also, you know, my reality is just changing and molding so much, so quickly and transforming. And I mean, to expect like this smooth chronological order of things and linear, you know, realization of plans and visions, I think it's a little bit naive at this point in my life and the way I see reality. And then I saw this YouTuber that I really admire, Victor Odo. I'm actually participating in his and his pals, Aaron Dowdy, his name is. So they both making this amazing coaching course, basically coaching the aspiring coaches like myself. So again, long story short, he recently mentioned this idea that I felt it just hit home, really. It was about that, you know, when you're changing, when you're going through these quite profound spiritual, you know, transformations, or even just emotional, and, you know, you're just growing as a person really quickly. But also we can mention, you know, spiritual awakenings and things like that, you know. Let's not censor it. This is the channel where I shouldn't be censoring myself. So when you're going through something profound like that, your environment needs to change as well quite quickly. And there is this phenomenon that I didn't realize, but I had been moving around quite a lot during past, well, especially these 5 years. And so basically this need for moving can be related to your, you know, personal changes and spiritual transformations and things like that. Because, okay, let's go there. If your vibe is, you know, if your frequency is going higher, then you need to upgrade your environment as well. So that also was a big thing, big reason why I did need to move from that apartment, because yeah, we didn't have the same frequencies, let's put it that way. And it was also in the neighborhood where I'm from, where I spent my first 19 years of my life. And it was really quite trippy to go back to that neighborhood after so many years of thinking that, you know, I'm not gonna even be living in Lithuania to begin with, and then I'm back to my neighborhood. But it was very healing, and it was very therapeutic. It was really, yeah, it was a really good experience, and positive at the end, for sure. So yeah, so this is, you know, what I wanted to share today with you. And there's definitely a lot more that I'll be speaking about, the importance of the environment, and yeah, many more stories to come. But for now, well, I suppose you could contemplate on, you know, if the place you're living in, you know, even going, not just your apartment or your room, but, you know, your neighborhood, is it your district, you know, is it nurturing for what you want in your life? Is it does it nurture your soul? Does it feel like, you know, that helps you grow? But also, you know, consider if that's the case with the country you live in, and yeah, or even a hemisphere and things like that. So you could go deeper and deeper, and you can zoom in and zoom out, and it's, yeah, I think it's quite an interesting topic and concept. Oh, yeah. Right, so I'm gonna go back to my hammock, if you don't mind, and I'm not gonna film that. And yeah, just have a lovely rest of your day or night, and that's gonna be it. Ciao for now.